This is my meeting. I want to talk.
There once was an evil empire known as the Soviet Union.
They are the focus of evil in the modern world.
An arms race between the United States of America and the USSR was costing trillions of dollars.
To ignore the facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire, to simply call the arms race a giant misunderstanding, and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong and good and evil.
The Cold War was out of control. It was just a matter of time before the world would face certain nuclear destruction. A president and his secret agent worked behind the scenes to bring down the Soviet Union financially without even firing a shot.
Operation Still Point. Stop the Cold War.
The never-before-told story of why and how Operation Still Point was conducted under President Reagan, with his mandated secret agent, WANTA.
And I had a mandate, and it was classified, secret, top secret, signed by Ronald Reagan. I'm Leo Amo Wanta, S-31-IANO, Sector 5. For the people that don't know, we do have an Internal Affairs Department, IANO, in New Orleans. That's me.
Secret Agent WANTA is also a private citizen operating under the Toten Doctrine set up by President Abraham Lincoln.
He was a private citizen operating under the Toten Doctrine.
A miracle that would help save every living person on the earth was about to happen.
I got them where I want them. They can't move because they have no currency, they have no future, unless they surrender the economy to everybody.
Lee negotiated personally with Mikhail Gorbachev in regards to stepping down so that the Russian Federation could be born.
The Soviet Union guys had no money. We assisted them to go into retirement at a large amount of money.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
He knew his country was bankrupt. We offered him $10 billion. Did I have it? Yeah. Did I have the authority to pay for it? I think so. I was in charge. And he says, tomorrow, we get it done. Deal. Okay. And he looked at me like, you're never gonna do that. But the deal was cast in stone. He cut a deal, we cut a deal, I accepted, he rendered, and I did my portion. It was only $10 billion without firing a shot. It was worth it.
Mikhail Gorbachev steps down. The ruble collapses. The evil empire goes down, and a new Russian Federation is born. The story does not end here. WANTA amasses $27 trillion from his successful work on Operation Still Point. Under his mandate from President Reagan, WANTA begins to distribute these funds as directed, which will eliminate our national debt and create a high-speed rail system. Then, without any warning, WANTA is arrested in Switzerland.
They put me in a Swiss dungeon, pre-Nazi, no charges. I'm down there, I'm praying, but nobody comes. Nobody comes.
His funds are stolen.
They didn't steal my money, they converted my money. A new word, conversion.
Some well-known leaders are behind it, as well as the Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve is not a bank, I'm sorry. They've never been a bank, they're a clearinghouse. A Federal Reserve note is not a US dollar. That's exactly why Kennedy was getting rid of the Federal Reserve. It was worthless, it was illegal, it was criminal, and it was not good for the American people. But it's all okay, because if we didn't do it, the major banks would fall, including Europe. I didn't know we had to feed the banks in Europe, even though they own part of the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve has no authority. They didn't print the money. They just pretended to send you the money, but they did not pretend to charge us for the transaction. and charge us interest to people. That's a pretty cool deal. Talk about graft, embezzlement, fraud by inducement, Title 18 conspiracy against the people of the United States. There's no place for them to hide. We're a rich country. We're not bankrupt. We don't owe $17 trillion. It's paper money.
After years in jail on trumped-up charges, Lee is finally released. His funds were ordered to be returned to him by a U.S. judge in 2006. Why hasn't this order been completed?
I went to hell and back, and I'm not quitting.
The story is unfolding today.
This is the United States. We're not a banana republic. It's crazy. And everybody says it's okay because it's politics. Oh, goody, politics. We have no rule of law.
Greed, corruption, and fraud exposed at the highest level.
You cannot create a law to break a law. Nowhere can you. I don't care who you are.
The secrets of the Federal Reserve exposed.
Kennedy was murdered because he wanted to get rid of the Federal Reserve. He wanted a real U.S. dollar. He printed 1s, 2s, and 5s.
Puppet masters are at work throughout the world. Never before released information is now public. What every American needs to know.
For me, it's been a real honor as a documentarian to have this opportunity to tell the story about Ambassador Lee WANTA.
We used to have a clean country. Reagan was building, helping everybody. He didn't care if you were Democrat or Republican. He certainly didn't trust George Bush and his grouping.
A compelling documentary of overcoming adversity and hope for the future.
I have no anxiety or revenge. I got no time. I got things to do. I want to build ICE, be real. We got the VA hospital. We got property things. We got to do this. We have too many projects to do. I'm not being bogged down so they can punish me again. I won't do that. I won't. He was a man of character.
We will never compromise our principles and standards. We will never give away our freedom. We will never abandon our belief in God.
Eagle WANTA, a great American story. Two American heroes who are still working hard for you.
I can simply tell you I have not been discharged, threatened. I only work for the office of the president, and since he was the last duly elected president, I haven't been fired. I haven't been discharged.
Eagle WANTA. Finally, the whole truth.
But I have to tell you because that's my oath.